Check, check, check. Mic check, mic check.
Hey y'all.
I turned them off.
Oh, I think you just turned it off. Just to do it quickly.
Hey Kathleen.
Check, check, check. Mic check, mic check. Good. Is he good?
Come on, Mama.
Is he good?
There you go.
Sticking out here.
give you $100 if you go tackle him. That'd be a great.
Oh man. Well, wrong guy.
I could see him juke it out. That's really good.
I'm going to kick these kids
Go ahead.
out. You ready?
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, are we on? Can you hear me? Hey, guys. Thank you, Tigers. Now you have to go back to class. See you later.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Thanks so much.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sarasota School of Arts and Sciences. I am Tara Tamash, principal of our high-performing middle school, joined by my assistant principals, Kylie Gannon and Carl Williams, and 3 amazing teachers that are going to speak to you later that are only a small part of the team that worked diligently this school year and all of last summer of what proved to be the most difficult, longest school year in the 21 years I have worked here. Sarasota School of Arts and Sciences was a pioneer in the Florida charter school movement, a charter written by ambitious parents that opened in 1997 as a vanguard for free, public, and accountable school choice. Through innovation and resilience, SSAS continues its own distinguished honor as one of the top middle schools in Florida, with a student population that reflects the diversity of Sarasota County. It is in this spirit of innovation and resilience that is commended here today. New technologies, concurrent learning models, and countless other challenges presented by this school year have been nothing short of humbling for Florida's teachers, for the administrators, the students, the parents, the guardians, the staff, the old principal. It has felt like everyone was in their first year teaching again. We are grateful that Governor DeSantis, Commissioner Corcoran, and the state of Florida continues not only to recognize Florida's educators for their diligence and success, but also continues to prioritize educational compensation. So I now have the pleasure of welcoming Governor DeSantis and Commissioner Corcoran, stewards of the state of Florida, to our little school, supporting all teachers, traditional and charter. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's great to be here. I want to recognize the Commissioner of Education. Will say a few things. We have Senators Gruters and Boyd. Where are you guys at? Thank you for. Yep, Jimmy Petronis is here. Oh wow. We have and then Representatives Gregory, Fiona McFarland. Where are you? Hi. And then is Will Robinson here yet? No. I see Randy Fine. Man, we got a bunch of folks here. I do want to thank Superintendent Asplin for being here, and thanks for their hard work. You know, go back last summer, we made the decision that schools need to be open. Okay, parents needed to have the ability to send their kid to school in person, even though now people generally understand that that's an obvious thing that needs to be happening. At the time, that was not something that certainly was fitting the narrative. I know certainly corporate media, if you look at their narrative, they were trying to keep kids out of school. We really ran into a lot of blowback when we said we needed to move forward. And even to this day, sadly, there are parents all across this country that have no access to 5-day-a-week face-to-face instruction. That is an absolute tragedy. And it really is a disgrace, and it shows you that the leadership matters. And obviously, Richard and I, charted the course for the state. But we had superintendents, and we had principals, and we had teachers all around Florida who understood the importance of getting the kids back in school in person. They understood how this virtual education quite frankly, it just doesn't cut it. And so we had folks that were chomping at the bit. I know there was some resistance and some of the interest. We surmounted that and were able to, to go and have a school year. We just came back from Baker County up in North Florida. They were one of the first districts to open. And today they concluded their 180th day face-to-face. So they finished the school year. Basically, they've had 94% plus in person the whole time. So that was really, really good. So we wanted to, just take a minute to say Florida did it the right way. The places that locked these kids out of school, they did not stand by the parents. They did not stand by the best interests of the students. And of all the different decisions that were made, I think locking these kids out of school, like you've seen in some of these other places, is going to probably be the most harmful decision that were made by bureaucrats, by governors, by mayors, whoever was in charge of doing that. They're going to rue the day that was what happened. Fortunately, we charted another course, but we also understand that it was just a unique circumstance, particularly at the beginning of the school year. I remember when Baker started, you had these New York media outlets are down there, and they were like trying to act like these yokels are crazy, all these kids are going to, it was absurd. It was not based on evidence, but that was what the narrative was, and that's what we had to fight through a lot of that from the very beginning. And so we're proud of the principals that led. We're proud of the superintendents. We're proud of the teachers. And so I thought it was really important when the legislature was in session this past spring that we recognize that sacrifice. And so I called for $1,000 bonuses for all teachers and principals in public schools, including public charter schools. And fortunately, the legislature delivered. And so when I sign the budget in the coming days, we will deliver on our initiative to give $1,000 bonuses to every principal and every classroom teacher that's public school. That's almost 175,000 individuals. And so we're really proud of that. But we're also proud of last session, 2020, the COVID obviously overtook everything in terms of what people were concerned about, and understandably so. But we set out last year to make a real difference on teacher pay. So we did, our goal was to increase the average minimum salary for teachers in Florida. And in Sarasota, we've been able to do that by almost $3,000 just in the past year because of what we did last year. Other counties, we did even more because they were starting lower. Once we got that average minimum to a place which was, competitive nationally, the remaining money went to give increases to teachers that were making above that already. So we think it was a good approach, a successful approach. Happy to report that the budget continues the approach and actually added money to that. So we're going to make even more progress in terms of making sure that we have an average minimum salary across the state that is really going to attract some of our bright college graduates to want to go in to education. And I think that's money well spent. I think it'll make a big difference. So we're getting things done. We're happy about these bonuses. And of course, it's not just bonuses for principals and teachers. Law enforcement and first responders, we also delivered $1,000 bonuses. So we're excited. Obviously, there's some other things. We're going through the budget now. There's a lot of different items in that, so we're working very hard every day to go through. But this is going to be something that we approve and then sign into law, and we'll work hard to get those checks out for folks. So I'd like Commissioner Corcoran to be able to come up and say a few things, and then we have some of the teachers to be able to come up and say a few things. So Richard?
Thank you. I will echo and take a second to build on a little bit of what the governor said. But if you were here, and most of you were, Superintendent, all the great work that was done back in the summer and the fall. But the onslaught of what we were doing was insane. It was crazy. They plastered our buildings with fake graveyards, with fake coffins and headstones, and said we're, taking kids down this terrible path. And the reality is now we're here, and everyone agrees with what the governor sat down, researched, talked to other countries, other leaders all around the world to say, okay, what are the facts? What are the transmission rates with kids? What are the rates of infection? All factual, all available, all known to us back in May and June. And so, but everything comes down to leadership. The governor mentioned it. Leadership's everything. And we had a leader who said, despite all of that onslaught, we will open schools. And we will open them safely, and we will not deny these children what they deserve, and that's a world-class education. The harm that everyone was fearing, and still in 49 states, you still have pockets of massive pockets of our country where these kids still cannot step on a school campus. And at first we would look at it and we'd say, wow, that's just tragic. And then we'd say, no, that's just wrong. Now I will tell you what's going on with these other states and these other school systems and these not opening up for these children. It's criminal. What they're doing to these kids will have ramifications, not for a year, not for 5 years, for decades. And we may never be able to get that back. But that's the difference in Florida. Florida, we opened up. And when we opened up, something else became apparent. I'm a parent. A lot of these legislators back here, we've actually got one new one coming here soon with Fiona, but we're all parents, and we all have kids in the public school system. I have 6 of them. So part of it was selfish. I wanted to get my kids back out of the house and into school. But the reality is, the test was, all of us care about our kids. Nobody wants to put your kids in harm's way. And the test was, are they going to be in harm's way going to school? Or are they going to be in harm's way not going to school? And the data and the science is out. The harm that is absolutely known, certain, and a fact by these kids not going to school is devastating. And then by them going to school, just like here in Sarasota, Superintendent, I think you're probably around 85% now face-to-face. Face-to-face instruction in Sarasota County, up and down the state. We just left Baker. They're almost at 99% face-to-face instruction. That's where kids learn. And what we learned in this whole pandemic was teachers and schools, they're the backbone of society. When we dropped off our kids, despite, them being told out in the playgrounds, you can't touch each other or go near each other. We're shutting down the playgrounds. You go to Publix and you guys got to go down this way and you can't go near each other. All these crazy things that kids are experiencing. But the one constant, the one certain thing that they could go to, and it was right, and it was normal, and things were perfect, was they could go to their school and be with their teachers. And this bonus and the compensation, the governor talks, last year was the largest compensation program in the history of the state of Florida. And to put it in perspective, we now in Florida have over 90% of our districts with minimum teacher salaries of $40,000 and up. Nationwide, that number's 12%. 90% in Florida, 12% nationwide. That's the impact that this governor has had on education. And to be able to be here and to see, again, another couple $100 million of bonuses for teachers and principals, it's so well deserved, it's so right. But I'd be remiss if I didn't say, as a parent in this state with 6 children in the public school system, what a rich, amazing blessing it is to have a great leader in the governor's mansion who made this all happen. So thank you, Governor.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we have, I think we have 3 teachers here. So if you all want to come up, so we have Marissa Daubert. You want to come and say?
Hello. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hello? Is my mic on? Raise your hand if you can see me. That means you can hear me too. This is how quite a few of my class periods started this year. I'm sure many teachers can relate to these phrases. Good afternoon, Governor DeSantis, Commissioner Corkin, and Superintendent Esplin. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to visit Sarasota School of Arts and Science. As a 6th-year teacher and a new teacher to SSAS, I can honestly say that this has been one year that I'm sure none of us will forget. If someone had told me a few years ago that I would be teaching at a new school, where I would be teaching middle school math to students remotely, live, on camera, all while ensuring the health and safety of my students, I would have wondered what science fiction movie they were watching. I knew coming to a new school that there would be a technology learning curve for me. Becoming proficient with Microsoft 365 and Teams was top of the list. I didn't know that I would need to become proficient so quickly, but it happened. I learned to create rooms in Teams so that students could connect with me and their peers. I learned how to connect with the students that weren't in school, creating memes and digital stickers so that I could send them when they won a game or did a great job on an assignment. I learned that it takes collaboration, community, and connection to survive and thrive while teaching during a pandemic. My new friends became Bobby and John in charge of technology. My team leaders, Sarah and Marissa, gave me support and encouragement that I needed to hear. Jen and Amber down the hall gave me smiles, a thumbs up, and a quick joke to keep everything in perspective. I was overjoyed when Principal Tamash came to the classroom this year to help a student that she had a rapport with in math. I was thankful when Assistant Principal Williams followed up with my remote students who were struggling with the requirements of a remote learner. I could not have done it alone. This year was the definition of it takes a village. Not only has this year been daunting for teachers, but it's been extremely challenging for parents and students as well. However, change is inevitable. With change comes growth, and from growth comes successes and celebration. I did it. My students did it. We all did it together.
Okay, we have Kevin Corwin, Math Department Head.
It's weird to not have a mask and talk to people, so bear with me here. So first of all, I just want to say thank you to everybody up here. It's a great honor. Sorry, get emotional. It's a great honor to be included, so I appreciate that. I know Ms. Dobert and Ms. Ferry and I were talking actually at 8 o'clock this morning, getting prepared for this again, that this is truly something we'll hold as a treasure forever. Beyond just the stuff that you're bringing to us financially, but just to be involved and hear you guys' support of education really touches you as a teacher. To say this year was difficult would be the understatement of the century. It's my 21st year teaching, 11th year at this school, and I've been teaching math all 21 years to middle school students. This was my first year teaching, even though I've taught for 21 years. I had to learn everything new, all new technology, how to teach a kid that's online. I'm a very activity-based, problem-based, man, let me look at my cards. That's why they're here, right? Sorry. I talk to people every day, but not in front of this many cameras. But we are very collaborative and very inquisitive with what we do. When you're sitting there and your kids are watching you on an iPad, that is next to impossible to do. Questioning, the answers that I have provided for them have been out the window from day one. So it was all learning process for all of us, including the students. I had a very unique opportunity. You beat me. I have 5 kids. I have 5 kids in 5 schools across Sarasota County and Manatee County. So I got to work with over 75 teachers myself, between being a parent, a department head, a basketball coach at Sarasota High. So I had an opportunity to talk to a lot of different teachers and learn from them how to go about this. It was amazing, these conversations you have with teachers and what they did in a short amount of time to be ready for our kids. I know from here forward I will be a better teacher than I've ever been in my career, because we dealt with this, we made it, and we're ready to go. I appreciate your continued support, and we look forward to meeting with you guys again. Great, good job.
Okay, Kathleen Ferry, U.S. History.
Thank you. First off, I would like to sincerely thank Governor DeSantis and his team, Sarasota County Schools, and my administration for providing me with this wonderful gift of giving insight into the life of a classroom teacher this school year. There are a multitude of words that I could use to describe what it has been to teach this school year, but 2 words stand really strong in my mind, and those are adaptive and resilient. As teachers, we are constantly used to thriving off of adapting to any situation thrown at us. And this school year was this sudden new challenge of adapting to teaching our students in person in our classrooms simultaneously with students at home, online, behind a computer screen. And we did it. We adapted by finding ways to learn new technology